What's up, guys? It's your girl, Victoria J from 12th Street Talk Back, where transparency is our love language. You guys know that transparency is very important to me because I believe it's the key to bridging the gap of communication in our community. Bridging the communication gap amongst our generations in our community has been very near and dear to my heart for a very long time. And I've been working feverishly to spark the hard conversations. As the world changes, people change, things change, life experiences can change us. Sometimes it can be hard to express yourself to your loved ones. We all suffered something during the pandemic, some more so than others. Emotions can be like a roller coaster. And that's why I'm grateful to BetterHelp. Thank you, BetterHelp, for sponsoring this episode. BetterHelp is the world's largest therapy service, and it's 100% online. With BetterHelp, you can tap into a network of over 30,000 licensed and experienced therapists who can help you with a wide range of issues. To get started, you just answer a few questions about your needs and your preferences in therapy. That way, BetterHelp can match you with the right therapist from their network. Then you can talk to your therapist however you feel comfortable via text, chat, phone, or video call. You can also message your therapist at any time and schedule live sessions when it's convenient for you. If your therapist is not the right fit for any reason, you can switch to a new therapist at no additional cost. With BetterHelp, you get the same quality and professionalism you can expect from in-office therapy, but with a therapist who is custom picked for you. More scheduling flexibility and more affordable prices. Get 10% off your first month at BetterHelp.com/12th Street. That's BetterHelp.com/12th Street. I've also linked it in the description below. Let's start bridging the communication gap together.
You took a picture of my phone.
Welcome to Freedom Fridays, Girl Chat. I'm Victoria J.
And I'm Miss Riri.
What's
I
going
might
on,
jump
Miss
off right quick.
Riri?
I'm about to take a picture of my phone right quick. Wait a minute. If I leave, I'll be right back. I'm just taking a picture of my phone.
She taking pictures of her food, y'all. But she is outside. She is
I don't know how to
outside.
do this. No, I'll be having to touch buttons. Wait. All right. That button, wrong button, wrong button. Okay, right button. Can you see
She
my
is
phone?
outside, people, which we said we were going to start to do. We were going to start when this weather got nice and pretty in New York and in North Carolina. We were going to start going outside. So, yay, we are outside. We're outside.
Am I back now? I'm back, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
you're back. You're back. You're back. You're back. So what's going on, Miss Riri?
Girl, nothing and everything.
Well, let's get this quick prayer in real quick so that we can get us some praise, and then we're gonna see what you up to. Heavenly Father, we come to you right now in the name of Jesus. We thank you for the very breath that we're breathing this morning. We thank you for your grace and your mercy because we know that it is new every day. We thank you for a sound mind and a sound heart. We thank you for working limbs that we able to praise you with our mouth, wave our hands, clap our hands, stomp our feet, and all the above. We thank you for this new day. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Amen, everybody. Amen. Where you at, Miss Riri?
I'm at the Court Deli restaurant on the corner of my block. Near
Give us a
the
little tour.
I live I live in the historical area in the Bronx with the courthouses and all that other good stuff. So I know how to turn stuff around. Go away, go away.
I'm gonna need you to fix that. Well, guys, she popped out for just a minute. We gonna let her pop on back in. We doing this thing outside every now and again. So you gotta just work with us. You just gotta work with us when we get everything set up. And this is the old lady gang over here. So some things may be new to us to doing, working the whiteboard, working the computer. We ain't got a whole lot of technicians over here that can help us do some of those wonderful, fantastic things that the young people be doing. I was just telling them, Miss Riri, that the old lady gang, we ain't as fancy and technical
Tell
as
me
they
about it.
are when it comes to working with these gadgets, but we gonna make it do what it do as soon as we learn how to do it.
What I was trying to do, because the little one, school was coming in, when I'm caught, I said, Lord, it's funny when you work with the school. I'm like, God, was I really sending out that many recordings and voicemails and stuff? It was one of those little announcement things. So I thought I was knocking that off, and I cut us all off. But yeah,
Oh,
I'm in the court now, and I don't know how to do stuff.
I like the background.
You see, it's more messages. They don't stop. But
Oh, you look
there go
like
my
you got some
food.
good food.
There go my food.
You making me hungry.
Bacon, French toast, and hot chocolate with Cool Whip.
Oh, Miss Riri, you know you wrong for that one.
Well, I'm gonna be
You know you
eating.
wrong for that one. You know
And
you wrong.
if y'all
You
hear me
know
snacking, sorry, not sorry.
she knows she wrong for that one, y'all. She know
Oh yeah.
she should have told me. I've been up since 4:15 a.m. She know she should have sent me a quick text and said, I'm gonna have breakfast, have your meal set up so we can do this Freedom Friday over breakfast. But that's okay. I'm gonna catch her the next time, y'all.
Okay.
I'm gonna catch
Because
her the
I'm grown,
next
y'all. No, it's real. Because I could not eat, especially solids. And I'm like, oh, I feel so sorry for them little babies. When you have to parade, I have to parade everything I ate. So now I can eat, and I'm holding down solids and stuff better. So I'm grown.
You
I'm
going for
grown.
yours.
So
I know that's
sorry,
right.
not sorry.
I know that's right. I know
Sorry,
that's
not
right.
sorry.
Well, guys, let's get into this Freedom Friday. She outside. I told you about my garden when we
Well, how's it
talked.
going?
Oh my
You
God.
should take pictures of that.
I
I want to
should
see
have.
that.
I should have. I messed around yesterday with how to share and put stuff up on here. I'm still learning it. But I'm gonna take some pictures. My dill pickle on my little patio garden is all green and it's got the little leaves, and it's time to transfer them out of the tray and put them
Mm,
into the actual
the,
bed, because I started them in the little 4 trays so that they can
okay.
go ahead and get the leaves, and now they're at the point where they got the root and I can put them inside my little patio garden. Shouts out to Ariana, man, from Flora and Aquaman. Y'all gotta head on over to her Etsy shop and check her out. Ariana Pennell on her TikTok channel. My niece, she told me about the garden that she was doing on her patio, and she did hers like in clothes baskets because she
Okay.
was doing like
Wow.
corn and stuff. And I guess
Mhm.
she found that website from another YouTuber that was doing a DIY
Okay.
that was showing people how they can actually do a garden on their patio. And she shared some of her secrets with me. Man, Victoria got the green thumb.
Let me find out.
Girl, let you find out, because
Never,
my
never too late.
children said that I was the queen, and I was the queen of killing plants. But glory be to God, every
Well,
plant,
they
I
said you was
think
the twin.
I was the
You was the
queen
queen, the
of
coolest player.
killing plants. I was either overwatering, or B, because I have a skybox in my living room.
Okay.
the natural light comes in. So when the
Yeah.
sun sets right over top of in my living room,
Mhm.
I may have plants that needed low light and didn't realize that the difference between a plant with low light and a plant with high
Yeah.
light. So
Yeah.
now that I've got the right balance, I just celebrated my 1 year anniversary. My kids always give me plants and stuff for Mother's Day,
Mhm.
and my plants are so green and so pretty. And baby girl came over here last week and she was like, "Ma, I am so jealous of you." And she is a plant head. Like, if you guys, and I'm gonna plug her too, head on over and check out Tamoria Weeks YouTube. She's a singer. But if you look at her background and her videos, I mean, she has plants everywhere. It's like she live in a forest. And I was always jealous of her green thumb. And now I got my green thumb back. So
That's a
yay for me.
beautiful thing.
I got my peppers, my hot peppers, my green peppers, my different types of lettuce. I got tomatoes, beefsteak tomatoes, and jumbo tomatoes, my dill pickle, my cilantro, my basil, my parsley. All of it is growing, and I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I'm so
That is so
excited.
cool.
Yeah,
I
because,
grew up, my mama was a plant lady too. Now she was a plant mama. My friend Marcella and I, we always talk about, because her dad, he was into plants as well. And that's the one thing I didn't really get that much of a green thumb, but I was a silk plant queen. Remember my little garden outside when I lived
mm-hmm,
in North Carolina? Now I was a silk plant queen.
mm-hmm.
I'll
Oh,
get
God.
some prettiness, some fake prettiness.
Y'all, let me tell you. I done rode past her house one day, and I know we were associates. I wouldn't say that we were exactly friends at that point yet, but I was going to get my hair braided. I done rode past her house one day, and she got a whole magical flower garden. And I was thinking, "Oh, that's so pretty." And at
Yeah,
first
you
I was
said a
thinking, well,
magical
maybe
garden.
she had a landscaper come over and plant her some flowers. But then, taking a closer look, once I stopped by, just like my mother-in-law, God bless her soul, there's only two people that I've ever seen do this, and Miss Riri was one of them. How do you get fake flowers from whatever store, the dollar store, Roses, Kmart, Walmart, and put them in the front of your house like you really got a flower bed out there? She's the she's the first person. And then my mother-in-law, when I met my husband, she had all these big, pretty flowers, and she got the fancy rocks too. And I'm thinking, it's dead of winter. Can't no way that stuff be growing. Door number two. But hey, it's creative. It worked. It was pretty. So what
Yes.
can you say? You
Let me tell
you
you, I was
gotta.
a DIY queen. Remember my speckle plant, my the couch, my salon. I wanted some
Oh,
gold leather lord.
Jesus.
I
Oh,
made my leather lord. Let me tell you something. And that was before we was doing all that DIY stuff.
y'all. While she feeding her face, I'm gonna tell you about it, because I was kind of disturbed about this one. I ain't gonna lie, I was kind of disturbed about this one. She moved into her new place. She ordered all this furniture that took weeks to come,
Yes, costume day. Yep,
custom made
yep.
from this store called Dynasty
Dynasty.
Furniture.
Yep.
Do you know they're still there in the same
Nuh-uh.
spot?
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, they
Are you
still
for
there.
real?
I don't know if they had changed the location before you left, but you remember Rhodes Furniture on Peters Creek?
Mm-hmm.
That's now Dynasty Furniture.
Get out. So they
Remember,
bigger
Dynasty
than.
was small. when
Yeah,
you
that's what I was
had
gonna
that
say. They
stuff
big. A
custom
rose is
made.
big. Yeah, yeah. So they, wow, wow. Let
Back
me
to my
find out.
story. She didn't custom made this couch, had this couch custom made. It was black. It was pretty. It was plush, very inviting, very comfortable. She had painted. She had did the drapery. Her colors were black and gold. Why I go back over there another time, and she then took a spray paint of gold paint and speckled the couch with speckles of gold coming out of her couch with spray paint.
Man,
Now I have to tell you, it may sound like what? It really came out really, really pretty. Because I was kind of confused when she kept trying to describe to me what she was going to do to this poor sofa.
you said the poor sofa.
But it did come out pretty. However, me knowing the price tag that she paid for that sofa, my little bougie tail couldn't even imagine taking a can of spray paint to my brand new sofa. That sofa would have had to been about 5 to 10 years old, and I had to do a DIY on it. But you wasn't scared though.
Step out on faith.
It came out pretty. How did you ever get those specs like that without it streaming?
You shake it, and then you spray. It's a wonder that I'm still here, that I didn't die from inhaling the film, because it was like shake it, and it just keep moving around and around and around in the air, and as it was dripping down. So that was the key, like it just keep moving in the air, and then it just dissipated down.
The stories I can tell about this one.
Yeah, you can't tell me that God don't take care of babies and fools, because he was. I don't know how he took care of anybody else, because he constantly had to be on watch with me. He constantly had to be on watch with me.
Another strong memory is, and I hate saying this, but I don't know the lady's name, but the white lady haircut from the soap opera.
The 90210 haircut. Yes. My white girl cut.
I done went over there another time, and she done chopped all her beautiful hair off. And she has some gorgeous hair. If you guys have heard her say that she is a licensed cosmetologist. It was cute. It was the first time I seen it down south on a black girl. And she rocked it. But the stories that I could tell about Miss Riri when she gets a wild hair, it really ain't no stopping her.
It seems like the moral of the story is do not leave Miss Riri unattended. She does not do good by herself.
That may be true too. Look, that may be true too. I'm going to tell you, that may be true too, but I will say this. I'd rather have you on my team with your creativity and the fact that you just go for it, whether it works out or not, versus having somebody that's just complacent. So that's kudos to you. That's my way of saying you a winner. You're a winner. You a winner.
I always looked at myself as a bit zany and eccentric, but yeah, you step out. You got to step out on faith, and know that because anything with a price tag is replaceable, no matter how many thousands of dollars that was. It was replaceable, and I knew that was an idea that I wanted to try. And I knew God had to. And I stepped out on faith.
You did. It came out cute, and I ain't gonna even lie. Whatever happened to that furniture? Because you sure didn't give it to me, and I helped you pack to
I moved,
move
yeah,
back to
I
New
moved,
York.
I moved it to New York.
Did
I
you?
came back to New York, yeah. But when I moved from, actually, when you came to visit me in New York at that apartment, that was that couch.
Oh,
Yeah,
I don't remember
that
too
was that
much.
couch.
Them
But
was
now
my
when I
bad
moved
girl
to where I'm
days.
at now, I didn't take a lot of my furniture because again, stepping out on faith. I didn't want
Mm-hmm.
to I didn't want to take memories with me
Mm-hmm.
because when I moved by that time, that's when I had children. Well, I didn't have children plural. I had just Malika, my biological, but I did have my stepdaughter, Michaela, and I was married and all that other stuff. So I didn't want to take any of those memories. You know, that
Mm-hmm.
couch traveled from North Carolina to New
Mm-hmm.
York, seen enough in New York, and where I was
Mm-hmm.
moving to, it wasn't part of that moving. It wasn't
Mm-hmm.
part of that new setting. So it had to stay behind. And it stayed behind. And again, I stepped out on faith, and now you see all that stuff in my house. That just goes to show that God will replenish it. He will give
Mm-hmm.
you what you need when you
Mm-hmm.
need it. That
Mm-hmm.
stuff, it was a part of my story, and it served its purpose in that chapter.
You
That's
know,
it.
that's how I feel now. I feel like I'm so anxious to move. You already know this. I'm so anxious to move because I think I was telling my listeners on 12th Street Talk Back that I'm so anxious to move because we're in a different time.
Mhm.
My season in this apartment was that just that, my season. I had children. It was what I could afford, and I was single. And now I'm still here after being an empty nester, and there's still children. And like your parents used to say, cut all that noise out back there. Y'all not gonna run in and out my front door getting water. I'm going through that. And we live in a different time where some parents don't want you to say anything to their children, even though they know their children are
Mhm.
doing wrong,
Yep.
even though they know that, like our parents and our neighbors, if especially if you lived in a neighborhood where your mother or father was friends with the neighbors, they had all right to say, Victoria, don't climb on my apple tree, per se.
The
And
village
if
no
you
more.
ignored them, they went and talked to your parents, and you really didn't want them to come talk to your parents, so you actually listened to the neighbor that was a grown adult. And I think I was telling you last week, it's been happened like 3 times. It happened again actually yesterday, where we have a new group of smaller children here, and I think they're between the age 5 and 7. And they're doing this thing now where they go around and they just keep ringing your doorbell and knocking, knocking, knocking at your door. And they don't run. They just stand there and they giggle when you get up and open.
Wow.
They're bold. They're bold. And I'm not the nicest person in the world when it comes to trying my patience. So my husband's been handling. He don't want me to handle it because he was like, God forbid, I have to get into it somebody because of your mouth, because my mouth is slick. But by the third time that the child did it, I said, you're not going to the door. I am, because they know me as the mean one. They know you as the Mr. Will gonna give us a lollipop or a piece of peppermint or give us $1 to take the trash down. They know me as the no nonsense, hey, how you doing? Get out of my way. But with that being said, with the furniture, like I told him, I said, I can't really complain because we outgrew the situation. We've outgrown the situation. You can't knock anybody else's hustle because when I found these apartments, it was affordable. It had enough bedrooms for me and my 2 daughters, and it was what I could afford at that pay.
Yeah.
And you can't knock people for what they can afford. But what you can do is you can be a little critical because we grew up in a different time where your property was your property and you knew
Girl,
not to touch somebody else's property because their parents didn't want to pay for whatever damage. We've all had those parents where you go into the store and they say, you bet not
you better not
have
touch nothing.
that.
With the tight lip and let me take this also. The tight lip and the squint eye, you better not touch nothing.
You had that conversation before you got out the car.
Yo, let me tell you something. It took forever to get in the store because you was getting the rundown. It's like I didn't forget from the last time that you told me all this. But just in case you want to forget, you better not touch nothing. Nobody did not have to talk to you about nothing. Because you would get in trouble if somebody had to talk to you. You better not let nobody, because that was a sign of not having good home base training and all that other stuff. So you didn't have nobody talking to you. Yeah, I'm telling you, I go to the same church that my mother was pregnant with me at. And this is over 52. I will be 53 this year. I didn't even know you know I didn't even know you know how to talk. Because my mother told me you get in that car. Two grown folks just talking, that equals not a one little person. You can get up my way. And again, like I say, I don't know how BCW or ACS or whatever wasn't involved back then. Because when I say we was worse than them dogs sitting in them hot cars and all that, yo, she should be out there talking forever and a day. You didn't interrupt her. If you wasn't bleeding 911 resuscitation, you let her talk and handle her business. That's what you did. You wasn't bothering no grown people. But now it's just these young children now. And I don't want to say these young children like I'm so old and above it, but it's the mind frame of the children, because it doesn't necessarily come from what parents are installing and want to teach them. And since a lot of times parents get bad reps that they're not teaching their kids or telling to the kids. They got their own, it's us fighting against social media, the kids in the class. So it's a lot. These kids have a lot to contend with that we didn't have to contend with.
That is so true. I'm always listening to something. Every time I'm getting ready for our show, I'm always listening to another show or somebody else's show, not particularly in my circle. They're high up there. They are well known. And they were just talking about that. They were just talking about how we live in a world where things has changed. We have to parent different. And while they were talking, it got me to thinking about when I started this channel. I was still so stuck in old school mode. And in some ways, I still am. But I've just learned something new about myself today.
What's up?
I kind of like some of the new school things that I'm learning from the younger generation. And I'm going to tell you why. Just like you just said, there were certain things we knew not to do. Also, we didn't have to contend with half of the stuff that these kids have to contend with now. We didn't have the social media, the iPhones, or the Androids. We didn't have phones that we could carry around with us and capture everything. We had bullying, but it was to a certain extent, especially if you grew up in that neighborhood from childhood to teenage years. Everybody knew everybody's parents, so you could have that conversation with the parent if it got to the point where your child was being bullied constantly. And it's just like, you're right. I'm learning that they have a lot more to contend with. That's why therapy is very important in this generation right now. Whereas we and our parents, it's like, you don't need no therapy, you better go to church. Or I'm your therapy. That belt or that switch was your therapy. That's because we were doing something bad. But they have so much, that just made sense what you said. They have so much to contend with. And as I was listening to this show this morning, and they were talking about how we have to parent with a different technique. And although we want to scream out to the rooftop because of how we were raised, we have to rein it in so much for this new generation. And sometimes we neglect ourselves. Sometimes we neglect how we feel. Sometimes we hold in so much because we're trying to be the right parent. We're trying to be the right friend. We're trying to be the right employee. And coming from that old school type of life, you can't really go against the grain when everything's changing.
No. That's when it comes up and it comes in place to be honest and true to you and who you are, and don't try to be fake, because it comes through in your way of living. So, like the old saying, don't say one thing but do another. You have to live by the words you say, and you have to be consistent all the time. One of the main things I would always say, even before my aneurysm or my stroke, is I want to be someone that people want to run to and not run from. It means a lot to me. And now, by no means am I exempt from any problems of the world today, because we still live in the world, but we are not of the world. I'm sorry. No moment. Yes. Go right ahead. That's it. That's what you better know. All right. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All the time. Yes.
We want to
always.
hear.
Never want to be without. Uh-huh. That's it. That's it. That's it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, we have a guest that we can't
Uh-huh.
see, y'all, that is
That's it.
apparently chiming in with Miss Irie. Miss Riri. I love it because we are
Thank
planning
you.
on, this is our first step to getting out
Nobody
into
but
the world.
God. Nobody but God.
This is
Thank
the
you
first
so much.
step.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. You be blessed. Thank you. Thank you.
Miss Riri, you should have had
You're
them
a
say
blessing.
hi.
For the best. That's it. Would you mind saying hello? I do a podcast. Would you mind saying hello? Okay. No, we're all about being authentic. It's nothing fake and nothing dressed up, but
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
How are
Hi,
you?
gorgeous.
Be
How are
blessed and
you?
have a blessed and safe day.
Thank you. Thank you.
okay. Thank you. Now you can find us as 12th Street Talkback, and this is on YouTube. Yes, 12th Street Talkback, and it's Freedom Friday Girl Chat. So I'm Miss Riri, and that is our host Victoria J. And again, this is the logo in the back, 12th Street Talkback.
Name's Dr. Spencer.
All right, Dr. Spencer, and again, that's Victoria J. And
Shout
I'm Miss
out
Riri.
to
I'm a
Dr.
motivational
Spencer.
speaker. I just had a stroke and a ruptured aneurysm, but let me tell you something. God is showing me, and I run a Girl Scout troop for differently able Girl Scouts. I said, but now look at this. Now their leader is differently able. So that's how it is.
Amen.
Okay? Look at that.
I
We're
love
still
it.
here. God, beautiful thing. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I love
That's
it,
a
Miss
beautiful thing. That's
Riri.
the
That was
beauty. That's it.
beautiful.
That's it.
That
That's
was
it.
beautiful. I wish we could have heard the conversation, but that was beautiful. That was
Oh, y'all
beautiful.
couldn't hear. Oh, I forgot I got the ear thing in.
Yeah, that was beautiful, though. That was beautiful. Just
But
for
basically, she was just saying that she was like, when she came in the door and she had to pick where she was gonna sit, she's seen over here that the aura, that this is where to go on this side.
Yeah.
And she was just talking about how, see, I get misty, I get teary-eyed. Just how it's, when you're of this world, not everybody, and I don't want to say thinks the right way, because we all got a lot of learning to do.
Yeah.
But she just felt comfortable coming on this side, and something about it just spoke volumes. And so as she's sitting there and she's listening and she's hearing, she was like, y'all just keep doing what you're doing, keep praising God, keep believing in God, and He's going to continue to guide you.
Yes,
And it
he
was just pretty much
is.
that. She was talking about her story, and it it was just
See, God,
it's moment,
thank you.
it's moments like that again that you have to stay consistent and you have to be
Mm-hmm.
authentic, because if
Mm-hmm.
you're fake, it comes through. People can
Mm-hmm.
read that. People can
Mm-hmm.
see it. So you got to
Mm-hmm.
walk with that glory. And I tell people all the time, by no means am I so holy or like, but I'm real. I'm real. Like, you
Mm-hmm.
won't catch me in any setting that's not
Mm-hmm.
just that. It's real, because as
Mm-hmm.
as I was saying, I want to be that person that people want to run to and not run from. We all got that
Mm-hmm.
person, and we'll be ready to cross the street. Oh God, here she go again. I don't want to hear that. I want to be that person where people want to cross the
Mm-hmm.
street to get to where I'm at. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
telling you, God is my witness to this moment. People will cross the streets to get to me, to help me. I
Mm-hmm.
just walked my little one into the school, and I've been on the phone with you before, and you see how that school is. They flocked to me. Oh my God, Miss Rita, you back? I mean, I
Mm-hmm.
missed you so much. Da, da, da. I had people, the elevator wasn't working. Oh, wait, you gotta wait because you want to come down. So I know she's gonna want to say hi to you. That's where
Mm-hmm.
you want to be in life. That's the
Mm-hmm.
person you want to be in life. You
Mm-hmm.
want people to want to have you in the aesthetic,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
you like in your parents, they feel like that was just
Mm-hmm.
what I needed today. Now I can get the rest
Mm-hmm.
of that. I just needed that. I know you was gonna have something funny, or you was gonna have something upbeat, or go, you want to be that. You want to be
Yeah,
that ray.
you
You
do.
want to be that ray of light.
And
And you want
God
to
is
have
so
that in your
funny
life.
about that. I was just reading that. I love my book. I went all the way back to the beginning, 30 Truths for Common Lies for Women. And I was just reading chapter 2, Am I a Burden to Others? And then I was reading Am I a Failure? Just for me, because I've been going through some things in the last couple days. But long story short, what just happened, that's why I say God is so funny. I was having those same exact thoughts, the conversation that we were having before she stopped at your table. I woke up this morning having those same exact thoughts because of the two very heartbreaking situations I had go on last week. I don't understand why people don't feel like this is the genuine me. I'm too bubbly. I'm too opinionated. I'm too talkative. She just can't be happy all the time. Some people are happy all the time. Some people are genuinely happy all the time. And I think that's a turn off for people with me because they think that I am being fake. With the best of them that I can get out of my character. But why would you want to be out of your character all day, every day to prove to someone that that's an authentic part of you? I may not choose to get out of my character every day, all day, because I know that I can go from 0 to 100 in 2 seconds. So that may not be a place that I want to reside in. And when I'm angry and frustrated and hurt, I may want to shut myself down and I choose to show the world the happy Victoria. And I don't understand. And I was just asking God this morning, I don't understand why my happiness bothers people. It's almost like instead of it being contagious, it's irritating.
What it is people don't understand. And see, that's the thing about faith. People, when they know your circumstances, and they know that it would be something that would break them. See, that's another is, I always talk about the race. It's a situation that would break them. I can't overcome that. There's no way I can take that. I would just break down. So she has to be safe because there's no way I can deal with that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like, okay, then that's why that's not happening to you.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that I can handle it and I'm going to be like all the time okay. It does hurt. It does get to me, but it's not all of me. This is not
Mm-hmm.
all of what's happening in my
Mm-hmm.
life. This is
Mm-hmm.
but a paragraph. This is but a line in an entire chapter. This is
Mm-hmm.
not it. And
Mm-hmm.
you got to believe that tomorrow will be a better day. Even if it's tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Better days are coming. I
Mm-hmm.
walk around like, I'm the biggest Pollyanna there is, and things don't
Mm-hmm.
faze me. And it's
Mm-hmm.
not like I'm walking around oblivious, but it's just I can't let that stop my flow because the minute I get into any of that, I'm dead in the water.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Mm-hmm.
don't choose to be. I choose
Mm-hmm.
to be happy because what good is it going to be depressed all the time, to
Mm-hmm.
be angry all the time, to satisfy somebody else, to make your life seem better? Because
Mm-hmm.
I'm giving into the worst of my moment. Because that's what it
Mm-hmm.
is.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bad moment.
I had that conversation with you earlier, and I was telling you that someone said to me, do you feel like you are a little bit fake sometimes when you're doing your show? And I said, no. She said, well, I know you and I know the things that you've gone through. And you might shine a light on this, or you might shine a light on that and shine a light on this person. But I know the real situation. And I had to tell her, as well, explaining to my husband, I choose to tell people the good stuff about you. We may have just came out an argument 15 minutes ago, but in my mind, I'm going to go back to something good that you did or we did together instead of trying to display all of that. And it goes back to what you said about 10 minutes ago. We know the best and worst of each other's for the most part, but I get to whine to you all the time. And sometimes you may not like it. You might want to run. Some days you might have to just turn Victoria J off, but that's our friendship. I don't have to share that part of Victoria J with everybody. I have one
Yes, good
person
deal.
that I get to whine and complain to because I don't feel like anybody should bottle up everything and have to carry that around with them to fit in what people think that they should be. I think that's what happens to a lot of people that acquire fame.
Yeah.
And that's so funny because I do think that God talks to me in different ways. And I was watching a couple of shows and I happened to catch that movie Air. And it was about how Nike got Michael Jordan to be a part of the Nike brand and how they came up with the name Just Do It and all of that. But in the midst of it, they tried, but they just was their authentic self. They designed their brand around the person. And as they were selling him that, they told him, we know that you're going to be great. The world knows that you're going to be great. We just want to be a part of that greatness. You're going to go on forever. But the key thing that stuck out with me that they said was this: the same way that we as people build you up, we will tear you down just as quick as we build you up.
It's not.
And that is what it's been a problem in our society, in every culture, every race for a very, very long time. However, It's just more on display now with the iPhones and the Zoom and the
Yeah.
TikTok and the Instagrams and the Facebooks and the go live. And it makes it easier for people to sit behind their computer and be social media thugs and tear people down
Yo, them
instead of
boys,
building
yo.
them up.
Yo, they scarce. Yo, they are scarce. The key to that though, you don't get help. Nobody along with that 15 minutes. I will dry your 15 minutes of fame out. You'll get a minute of fame real fast messing with me. You will get a minute. Well, you thought you were going to get 15 minutes of fame? Not with this chick. Not
Oh
gonna do it.
God.
I
I
won't
can't
mention your
with you.
name. I won't mention the scenario. I won't help it to prolong.
Yeah,
It's gonna die right there with you and I.
yeah, yeah.
That's gonna
She
be
is that
be
way.
your line. It will die with you and I. Because I'm not gonna help you along. You will not piggyback off of me. I'm not gonna help you with that.
I
Sure will
tell you,
not. Sure will
I
not.
tell you, it does happen. It really does happen. And sometimes it just makes me wonder, does the people that really got some type of punishment or jail time for possibly bullying another teenager and they committed suicide or something, do they really honestly think about what they did and said? Would they really
No.
handle that situation different? Do they really, and I just did a segment on my show. I haven't released it yet. I'm still tweaking it. But I talked about forgiveness. And as I was going on, God gave me more insight. We use a lot of words and we throw them around as it's an everyday particular word. Words like forgiveness, word like love, words
Well, that's
like you're my sister. I was reading someone's post. It was a while
let
back.
me interrupt you real quick on this one. And just to add to that, the one thing that would always get to me, especially when I was in the hospital, I would die for you. That took on a different meaning when I was sick like that, because my whole thing is try living for me. Because what I was living with, the pain, it is nothing like the pain. And we've all gone through pain. When your brain, like your skull is physically like with its missing pieces, but it's trying to reform it. Like, it's pain. You hear me? Like pain. And my whole thing is it's easy, and I don't want us to make it like death seem like, oh, that's just easy. But there is no more pain. You're transition onto something else. But when you're living every day, you're feeling every bit of pain. So don't die for me. Live for me.
Live for me.
And don't just live for me, be alive in this moment of all of it. That impresses me far greater than dying for me. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I had that.
Oh, no. We gotta interrupt each other. That thing irritates my husband. So he two people can't talk at the same time. And everybody in my circle, from you to my aunt, we just overtalk people. So it's natural to us.
His ears would stand up to hear me and my brother Adam talk. Because even my brother Douglas be like, how do you and Adam even like, Adam and I? We go and we both be talking and we over talk each other, and it'd be a good conversation.
And I don't understand what they not getting.
Exactly. We both walk away understanding.
I don't understand it. He just, don't let me say one word and he's trying to explain something. I feel like he's too long-winded. He'll shut down and he'll be like, never mind. And I'll be like, what is that all about? Two people can't talk at the same time. Whatever, dude. I'm done. But to me, it's good conversation.
There's a moment, like, sometimes women like that, and then she's talking over me because it'll be something I'm really trying to help her to understand something. She's like, I'm hungry. Mind you, she could be at the table with food in front of her. But I'm hungry, and you talk, but I'm hungry, but I'm hungry, but I'm hungry, but I'm hungry. And this is like you need to stop and you need to receive what I'm saying. If I'm talking, I should be listening. So it's just like she knows verbatim. The little, no, you know her. You've heard her. The girl
Yeah.
is, she's comical.
God, y'all
She's
had me
comical.
dying laughing the other day. I was
Oh yeah, what
up.
you the serial mom when what was she talking about?
Y'all
That
was
so
talking
calm.
about Big Bird or something.
Oh,
And you was
the
telling her
colored
I'm the
pencils.
big,
Yeah, and
about
she
the
was
color
getting mad
pencils.
so that she wanted colored pencil. And I was just like, wow, like, and I'm still just talking to her like, and so she's trying to agitate me at this point because I'm too happy for her. And she was
Yeah.
like, Big Bird. So she likes to try to throw that at me. And I'm like, well, I'm the biggest bird, so but it's just you gotta keep that cheery and eventually she'll get mad and she'll walk off. I don't do that on purpose.
And
It's
you
a
went
lot.
on to
Yeah, I'm that person.
I was not in the mood. I mean, I was in an okay mood. I'm always in a good mood when I'm talking to you and my aunt. Y'all seem to be my two favorite people these days. But when you went on to say y'all were having a dialogue, and me and you were having a dialogue, and you went on to say, Mommy's making herself some spaghetti. Would you like to have some spaghetti too? And I'm like, when and how, what did I miss? What did the conversation?
Oh, man.
Oh God. And that's how I knew that I have been far too long out of those parenting stages because I don't remember. Well, my children say all I did was yell. So there you go. I either yelled or either let them have their way. So, but
the
that was
funny
too
thing is,
funny to
and I
me.
always get it because I say Faith's famous line, I ain't got there to get you. And in its own way, that wasn't yelling. You get what I'm saying? But I know to work with Malika, to work with someone on the spectrum, to work like she's not gonna hear that. She's not gonna
Right.
no, and I 9 times out of 10, no matter what level anyone's on, they're not receiving you yelling. Because all they know is they get defensive because I'm being yelled at. They're not receiving anything you say. So the calmer you bring it down, if somebody's up here and you're here, they're gonna come there because they want to like, what is he talking about? Like, why is this
I
so
don't
different?
know, Irene. I don't know, Miss Riri.
No, when people see that you net, let me tell you, if you want to drive your point home, being just as angry and fierce, they're going to be just as angry as fierce, or they're going to be submissive and they're just not going to receive what you have to say, or they're going to be scared of you, or they're not going to want to approach you. I want to be approachable. I want you to hear what I'm saying.
Well, I guess I've been dealing with too many mental patients because I done dealt with some people. I can bring it all the way down.
People, I can't talk about nobody that's not
I'm just
to
saying.
wanted to get something.
I'm just saying I have dealt with some people where I have brought my anger level all the way down and could be quiet as a church mouse. And it seems like that just ignites the fire even more because I withdraw. So you can't please everybody.
Well, see,
That's the moral of the story.
Exactly. With that's sometimes when it's like a narcissist type thing. And again, I don't know what scenario. So I'm by no means calling anyone a narcissist,
I'm just talking about,
But you know what I'm saying, just in general. When you see that the more submissive you get, that they're using it as an attack, like, oh, now I got her, now I can win, then they're not wanting to receive what you have to say. They're looking at it as an advantage that they're winning, and now I'm going to overtake this person. And like I like Game of Thrones, like all of those overpowering Neanderthals Thors type thing. In those type of situations, it's not that same fight. It's not, they're trying to overtake something. I'm not talking about someone who's trying to overtake something. I'm talking about somebody who wants to learn or who needs to learn. Malika, I would say needs to learn. Not needs to learn my way because it's the right way, but still as a parent, I'm trying to still guide you into the right thing that I know. Now, if you know something better than I know, then by all means tell me. But you calling me Big Bird, that's me. You calling me out my name. And what did I say? Well, what did I forgot? What did my mother name me?
That day, y'all was having such a dialogue. It was so comical because she was talking about the And that's why I was just laughing. She was talking about the color pencils. And she said, I want to go shopping on Amazon. And you was like, well, we don't have no Amazon money today. And she said, but daddy does. And you said, well, go talk to your
Go see
daddy.
how that works for you.
You said, go see how that works for you. And she left and went and talked to her father.
And how fast did she come back?
And she came back in less than 3 seconds. And you said, how did that work for you? And I couldn't, but that was the bright spot of my that day. That dialogue was the brightest part of my day. Even though I knew she was intentionally doing stuff to get on your nerves, it was comical to me. And I
But
was
now,
just
could you
like,
imagine if I gave her my energy and I would have tried to match her energy and be just as angry? I already knew what the end result was. You wasn't getting color pencils today. Nobody had money for you to get color pencils today. When you got a room full of color pencils and we just misplaced some brand new color pencils that I just bought you, not even May 1st. We still in May. Yeah, we're still in May. I just bought you some color pencils this month, but you lost that, not lost, fix your wording. You misplaced that pouch. All you got to do is look for it. You don't want to look for it. You got some in a drawer because we get a new color pencils every month. You still got the ones from the month prior in the drawer. So I don't want to use those because I had, and you heard the language. I had new color pencils, but I lost those color pencils, and I want new color pencils.
who does that? All right, Miss Mizrere, we're gonna wrap this thing up. We did my alarm already went off. I'm just gonna say it.
Oh,
We're trying to stay on schedule, but it already went off. But I do want you to wrap up about talking about our Girl Chat Freedom Fridays bestie. Grab your bestie to come on our 2025 cruise.
So this road dope. This is a real tough moment right now. We really need to start getting this roll call going in because it's going to help us to know what area you're in, what state you're in, and the best part. Because the last thing we want to do is to start picking. Well, okay, we already have the parameters of what we want to do, but like the area of Florida and different things that we want to do, it would just be helpful to have your input and have the roll call. But we will. God will make that announcement like July, at least July, August.
July 1st.
And this because it would just be beneficial for you to subscribe for one. And just to give us in your roll call where you're at. We're trying to make it affordable for everybody to go on this because we want this to happen. Well, first of all, it will happen.
It's gonna happen.
If it's me,
if it's just me
and Victoria J or that boat, I don't care. Because we're gonna be
we got a couple people that already said they were gonna do it.
Okay.
That we know personally that just hasn't put their name up under there. We're talking about the people that we don't know personally.
I'm talking. I'm sorry. Well, I was like, I kept feeling somebody like standing behind me, but you can't even see her. You know.
I can see a shadow.
Yeah.
But
guys, trying to see what
guys,
I was doing. All right, go on.
grab your bestie for the 2025 cruise. It may sound like it's far away, like I in my head think, because I'm always anxious. That's something that my Heavenly Father is working on with me, being anxious for nothing and let patience have her perfect works. But I get excited when I see all the pretty pictures of the water and the boat and all the stuff that we can do.
But keep that anticipation because that just helps your money know how it needs to be saved. You know what I'm saying? Right now, economically, and I'm just gonna speak for my pockets, that changes. I got change jingling and not no dollar bills whispering. Yeah. But I know as God sees that plan, he's gonna help it to come. I'm gonna be better diligently working on saving. And like I said, even if I got to just cash out and tell them on my little credit card or whatever, that it's $10 or $5, I'll be better at planning off my work. So that's again why we want to know everybody's area so we can start locking in that rate and you can start sending your money in because we're trying to keep it definitely as affordable as possible because we want to be able to fill those 45 cabins.
And we are definitely doing it. We definitely have the Victoria J team. We definitely have the Miss Riri team, and that is people that have already gone on a cruise. You're gonna be on Miss Riri team. People that has never been on a cruise, you'll be on Victoria J cruise, on Victoria's J teams. And how, I don't think I've been discussed this with you, Irene. How I thought about that was, you know, for people that's already been on a cruise to be on your team, they already know what they want. And if they've already been on a cruise and they're out your way, then if they need anything other than from the consultant, they can contact you. If it's people out way further down south and they're coming from down, because we're closer to Florida than you are. I mean, if I really wanted to drive, I could drive to Florida.
Yeah.
I have before like 3 or 4 times, but I ain't trying to do that on this vacation. I'm trying to fly, get relaxed. But you can reach out to us that way. But girls, chat Freedom Friday 2025. Grab your bestie. Cruise is going down. If your husband is your best friend, they're more than welcome to come. However, we did want to kind of keep it strictly just for the girls. But hey, we're not spending all our time with each other. We may have a night or two where we will do a meet and greet, but this is your vacation, just like it's our vacation. So wherever you decide.
Somebody might want to sneak in, try to put in another honeymoon or a little getaway. They might need to get away from the kids. And that's a beautiful thing. But again, don't have nobody along with you that's going to be judgmental, that's going to play this against you going forward, or that's going to keep you from, well, this is our vacation. Because there's a period there we are going to want to all get together. So that's the that's also the purpose of it. Everyone is to have their own fun, don't get me wrong, but we do want to meet up with everybody. So again,
if we, I mean, it's not like we're going to be making ourselves unavailable. If we happen to run into you,
I'm not trying to monopolize your time all day, every day. No.
Yeah. Like for me, piggybacking off of that, my husband don't like to fly. He said he ain't going to nobody other country. He don't want me to go either, but I'm going. So therefore, I'm not going to beg him to come because he would be stuck in the mud prior to getting there and while we're there. So that's what we mean by don't bring nobody that you cannot tolerate.
Yeah.
And with that being said, guys, we're going to head on out for today. Thank you for joining Freedom Fridays with your girl, Victoria J.
And Miss Riri. Out in them streets.
She out in them streets, guys. I'm going to get out in them streets too. This summer with her. I got a lot of things planned. Maybe the next time we come on, I'll be out on my patio and I can show you guys my little makeshift garden.
We want to see it.
You guys head on over to Spotify, Good Pods, Amazon, Apple, all your listening platforms, iHeartRadio. Check us out on any of those platforms. 12th Street Talk Back. We're in the building featuring Freedom Fridays Girl Chat with myself, Victoria J, and Miss Riri. God bless to you all. Have an enjoyable weekend. And if you haven't already, find yourself in someone's Bible-based church, or maybe just sit on your couch, get some word in you, get some prayer in you. And if it's God's will, we'll see you right back here again next Friday. Peace and blessings, y'all.
Bye.